Hey YouTube, Gamer 2K1 here. I was going to show you the little glitch on Final Fantasy V when you're playing it on the PS2, but that's not one to load up, so instead I'm going to show you a little interesting problem my PS2 seems to have with PS1 games. Take one that I know that works, and now this doesn't do it with every PS1 game. Oddly enough, it didn't do it with that one. But sometimes you try to load up certain PS1 games and it makes these awful sounds. One that I know it'll do it with, Final Fantasy VI, which I know works. So I was just playing it earlier. That was mild compared to what I heard earlier. Let me turn this down. Now, it don't make sense why my PS2 would be making these sounds with PS1 games. Especially when they don't do it at all with PS2 games. It can even get pretty obnoxious sounding. Let me show you with my copy of Final Fantasy V, which doesn't seem to want to work. And lo and behold, it actually came up for once. Go into the game, it makes that god-awful sound. And that's as far as it seems to go. And I think it would do that even if I were to change the settings. Let me show you something very quick here. Let's see. There are a few abrasions, but those are usually standard wear and tear kind of things. I don't know that you can see them very well here, but oddly enough, this will barely work in my PS1 if I can get it to work. Drifter's PS2, when it was working, played it just fine. My PS2 seems to play PS1 games just fine. It just makes that awful sound. Let me get some things changed here very quick. Disk speed, fast. Now, I don't know if this is safe, but I'm gonna try it anyways. Disk read error. One more time. And it doesn't want to work. Now for one that I know works perfectly, but gave me some problems when playing it on my PS1, my Final Fantasy IV disc, which actually looks worse than my Final Fantasy V disc, let me tell you. Works perfectly. Like I said, it looks worse than Final Fantasy V, but it works perfectly. Just skips when playing on my PS1. Which sucks, because after I beat the final boss... Okay. Staring at a black screen. Shouldn't be. Oh well. I guess my point there is the god-awful sounds that my PS2 is making with PS1 games. And just to show you it doesn't do it all with PS2 games, first I'm going to show you one that works perfectly. My Mega Man Anniversary Collection. You hear that? I don't. And it works perfectly. There's no sounds or anything to distinguish the problem. Now for one that doesn't seem to want to work for me out of my PS2 collection. Jack 2, which looks pretty bad for the record. It looks worse than some of my PS1 games. And I don't know why, but... well, when your video game collection sits for as long as mine has, you never know what goes wrong. Might have been the time I lent it to my nephew, but... you never know. Now let me just note here, if this actually loads up, I am going to scream. Now this is as far as this one goes, but sometimes it doesn't load up at all. Now if it were to actually load up, I'd have gotten a messed up title screen. That's how bad this game is. But notice how it's not making such a ruckus. It's working perfectly. Okay, not perfectly. You get the idea. And sadly, this game I need to get fixed, because I want to play it. And the toothpaste method just didn't work for me this time. But that's enough of that. I just wanted to show the strange noises my PS2's been making. Till next time, I'm out of here.